Okay, Logan, this is Mark Lee's rig. Pretty straightforward. It's just a pod with the left and right going to house, and a return coming out of the back going to that amp that's right there. It's a pretty easy setup. We normally set it 10 paces downstage from the riser, and we kind of line it up with just between that 2 light right there. Just between that 2 light and the organ, was kind of place more kind of right here. So we just kind of lands right up in there. This is the pod setup right here. And the wireless rack that I said is mounted underneath it. And everything runs off of the 19-pin connector at the back of this thing. The only thing, well, I will get there. Everything's set up is pretty simple on the back of this guy. Let me get my flashlight out here and I'll show you. Oh gosh, pockets are the worst. All right, so this is, you got 2 wireless antenna hookups, an XLR hookup, PowerCon, and then the 19-pin connector, and then a little safety loop on the end there, and that's it. This 19-pin connector just twists. It's just like a twist lock thing, where I don't know if I can show this to you or not. Basically, the part here just twists off. It just twists, and once it twists, it disconnects. It's like a twist lock thing. There's no threads or anything, so just make sure that these pins are lined up when you plug this in. Do not bend this. This is like the show right here, pretty much, is getting this properly connected and nothing breaking on it. If you need help with it, just ask Tim. Kenny May can help you, but Tim would probably be the guy to go to here. Once you get these few things hooked in and the safety loop attached on the end right there, we run the loom over to Lighting World, just for kind of cleanliness. Clean that up actually, so you get a nice little straight line, and it runs upstage here, around back behind the amp, and we kind of run it up through here, kind of in between the stairs and the riser set, back around behind the organ to Cable World, which is over here, where the organ rig and everything drops in. So we're back at Cable World. The end of this loom is here, and it fishtails off. You've got one cable here. This guy is the power, which you'll just plug into a quad box. It's got a cable, it's got a connection tester in it, so right now it's glowing green because we've got a good ground. If it's red, it's probably got a bad ground, which means you may not necessarily have a buzz in your line, but you could, so just power it up and make sure if you do have a buzz, that could be your issue. You probably won't though, we normally have pretty clean power. The rest of the fan out here goes into the quad box, and everything is labeled. So there are 4 cables that plug into the junction box here. Red is Mark Lee left, black is Mark Lee right, that's the pod. Brown, where'd it go? Brown is Mark Lee acoustic, which is the second unit in that wireless rack, and then green is the vocal. You also have a gray spare that fans out of that, and a orange return line that fans out of that. This return is an XLR that runs from here. It's a couple of XLRs, I've had to extend it, but it runs from cable land all the way back around the Leslie, kind of back, just following this whole cable loom here, following that back around to the guitar amp. The guitar amp in that just goes to the return right there. This is that orange line, the return right there. So that goes into the head. Coming out of the head, we're gonna go, in this current head, we're gonna do 4 ohms out of the, so you go out of the 4 ohms up to an air brake, out of the air brake down to the cabinet. The air brake will be what you control your volume with. So if Michael Essie or Tim or somebody asks you to turn down, you'll adjust it with the air brake. And then obviously power. Power comes out of there. I've got it plugged into an Edison line. The Edison line runs back around to the back to cable world here. Back into a quad box. I think it actually ends there today, but just one of these 2 quad boxes. You'll always end up kind of fighting for power because you're sharing these 2 quad boxes with Audio, who is powering this sub, and Millie, who's running a guitar amp and an actual rig. Look up. So there's that. I have this case living here beside the steps for Scotty. This case, in it is just another head, just in case that one were to fail. It shouldn't fail. I literally just got it in 3 days ago from Dr. Z. He just got that thing repaired. This guy will live here every day. It's a Monza. We have it out strictly as a tertiary option if something were to fail, or that that amp fails, or if Millie's amp were to fail, or if Steven's amp were to fail. We have a backup out here. Lighting's been kind of using it as a thing, so we just kind of let it live there. And then I have a couple of stools that will live here. One's for Steven, one is for Mark. That's kind of the setup. And then detailed stuff. Mark's pick holder here, this is kind of a big part for him. Put the slide on it, and then 6 guitar picks every day. At the bottom of the show, the clip itself, all of this stuff will store, all the little stuff. He'll throw these out into the crowd. These will be gone, but this little guy you'll nab, and I'll show you where to store it in a minute. But this will be empty at the bottom of the show. Take it off and lay it on the pedal board. That will store in the pedal board case. You'll see it when you open it up. Everything that's in that pedal board case is what lives with it, including the microphone cable that runs out of the back of this up to the microphone. You'll see it when you open it. You'll go, okay, that all lives in there. Okay, perfect. That's kind of that. And then this is the guitar world, tech world here and we're just kind of sharing space with Andrew. So we've been kind of using this guy as kind of the forefront, just because it's so big and we can hide behind it fairly easily. But this will be the 3rd day vault here. It rolls in. It's just a facing that's leaned on the back of the case. You'll just lean it on the back every night, and that'll be pretty easy. All 10 guitars live in there. My world's kind of a mess right now because I've been rebuilding stuff, getting stuff cleaned up for you. You will need to bring your own tuners and stuff. These are mine, so those will be out on the road with me. I think all of this stuff will be out on the road with me except for the wireless packs. So you'll need to bring a cable and some stuff like something to put a guitar on, just in case you need to bench style. This little pack right here, it's labeled Mark's Picks and Slides. This is kind of the go-to guy. It's got that slide that's out there will go in here. And every pick you would need, we have these show picks. I'm gonna open this up real quick. We have these show picks in here. There's a little plastic baggie. Show picks. So you'll stick 6 out there. We're running through about 4 a show, not including what's up there. Let's see what else. I have a set list taped here for you. It shouldn't change, but I'm going to send this over to you. And then the guitars that we have are all here. The unique ones are the ones with the acoustic lines. Obviously we have an acoustic, but we have 3 guitars. These 3 right here, the red one, the hollow body, and the black one here. All 3 of these are the PRSP models, and they have piezo's built into them. So there are 2 input jacks on these guys. They run off of 9-volt batteries. If Tim and them say that the volume's getting a little low, it's probably the battery dying. I've got 9 volts in this bottom drawer down here. In the top drawer, you'll find AA batteries and a bunch of other things, guitar strings. All 3 of these guitars use, if you ever end up changing strings on these guys, they use the yellow pack right here. This is the top drawer of the vault. You'll use the yellow pack for these 3. because they're acoustic, and so they need something a little deeper. All of the other ones, and the acoustic has its own acoustic strings, which are buried underneath these purple ones. They're way back there because he likes dead strings. These other 4 that are here, and then the Starla on the end. Well, no, not the Starla. Just these 4 right here. Use the purple pack, and then I've got some strings for the baritone I need to get to you, but this one right here is a baritone, and so that's kind of it for the guitars. All the wireless packs for the piezos are all strapped in here. They're all attached to their straps. So when you pull one of these guys out, hey Andrew, can I borrow you? Can I borrow you real quick? Yeah. You want to wear this for me? Oh gosh. You want to put that on for me real quick? Jeez.
This guy?
Yeah. So when Mark puts this guy on, you'll make sure that the bottom, let's walk over to the light over here. So when you give this guitar to Mark, this is one of his go-tos, the P245. You'll make sure that the cable with the piezo is plugged into the first input jack. There are actually 2 input jacks down there, and it'll plug into that first one, and that's like that on all 3 of those guitars. So he will plug into this one with the one that's in his pocket, and then this is the one you make sure this is plugged in before you send it out. And then when you send it out, go ahead and just turn the wireless pack on. Thanks, Andrew. And then you can kind of double check things if you're not sure a pack is on or anything. You'll see right now that the wireless pack for the acoustic line is on, and the other one is not on. This is what both of them would be on. This is his pack for his primary pack. So when I flip it on, you'll see the other one turn on, just like that, and then turn off. So if he ever asks if he's on or anything, you can just look and say, oh yeah, he's on. Just look right there, as long as your line of sight is willing to let you do that. I think that kind of covers everything. I'm going to get you a list of things. Just make sure that you bring your own tuners, your own like bench stuff that you would need. I don't expect you to have to do any setups or anything out here. He may ask, but everything's been recently intonated. I've changed most of all the strings, so when you get in to that first show, you should be good to go. Most of these guitars he's only using once a night, but the 245 that I just pulled out, and then the black P22, those are going to be kind of your go-to. So this second guitar here and the red one here that we just pulled out, those will be your kind of your go-tos. One is in standard and the other one's a half a step down. Those are his go-to guitars. You'll have an acoustic set, and I'll send you the set list so you can kind of see it. When that acoustic set rolls around, you'll take the benches out there, or the stools out there for him. That's kind of everything. Yeah, let's see where we get from here.